Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. It's very much a red day today on the markets. Not for me, though. I'm up and safe and protected. I'm looking to enter back into SGov when we get that little dip, when it sells the dividends and re-enters. So anyway, let's... we're going to, just getting some messages through from Sensei. Let me just make sure. Okay, right. So let's continue on. I'm just getting some messages coming from Sensei, so I'm keeping my eye on that. Right, let's have a little look. Looking at the markets, we're up at the moment. We're moving into SGov shortly. Let's have a little look. SGov is about to pay its dividend off, drop back down. That's when we'll buy it. We're out of the market. We have our XRP. As you can see, we have our XRP. We're waiting to buy more. I've got my orders placed. You can see those. So there is, I'm just slightly down on the moment. But one stock I'm paying very much close attention to is, let me have a look here, is Coca-Cola. I am watching Coca-Cola very, very closely this morning, looking for a re-entry here. I will be sharing my limit orders in my Discord and on my Electrum when I've decided where they will be. I haven't decided yet where they're going to be, but I'm looking for an entry point in here. All right, okay, so let me just go straight back into the chat. Welcome, everybody. Let's read some comments. Good morning, family. Hello, world. Hello, fellow humans. How are you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for all the links there, David. Good morning, afternoon, Henrik. Good morning, everyone. DB Deboyko, good morning to you. Last week was fun. Hopefully we keep the same attitude with yelling and cursing. Hi, everyone, again. Mike, if there's a secret code, you'd be rich. I just can't anymore. If there was a secret code, you would be rich. I just can't anymore. What do you mean, Mike? What do you mean by that? Good morning, Rob. Is that Getsy all this morning? GTSY all this morning? What does that mean, Casey? Casey Crypto, what does that mean? It's my birthday and I'm officially old. I understand that, mate. I understand that. I've been there for years. Hello. What's this here? Good morning, Martin. Good morning to you. 43% up on the year is cracking, Martin. Yeah, absolutely right. Not too bad at all, is it? Done very well. Anyway, do we still need a smoke machine? Do we still need a smoke machine? We don't have a smoke machine. We have a haze machine. We're not a disco. We have a haze machine. This is a TV studio. Good morning, Liz. Good morning to Oil 1970. To all, not oil. Could be though, couldn't it? Hello, say hello to Indonesia. Hello there, Indonesia. How are you? Become a member and tell me what language you speak, and I shall speak to you in your language. Gold and silver. Good to see you, GTSY. I don't know what that is. Hi all, having a great day today. Lovely stuff. Right. We're keeping our eye on the market. Let me go through, expecting some volatility today. It hasn't really yielded that much so far. My portfolio is down 0.06, where the S&P is down 0.51. So I know I'm beating the market again. All right, we're out of the market right now, expecting much worse pain. So we're out. We're about to move into SGov, but I am looking to buy more XRP. I will share my trades on my premium services. You'll see my trades live, but you'll see my setups if you want to know what I'm doing ahead of the game. I'm also looking at Coca-Cola. So Virgin Galactic is flat today. Palantir is up 0.78, over 1,000 times earnings. That's just bonkers. Gold is up again today. Gold and silver surging again. Amazon down 0.53. Apple down 0.2. Enphase Energy down 0.45. Coca-Cola is up 0.01. Now, we had a nice little bounce this morning. I did let my premium members know what I was going to do around a specific number of Coca-Cola, and I let it go. I let it go. I would rather wait and see what today brings. However, this is my top pick of the day because this is one of my favorite defensive positions. It hasn't changed. Still going to $80. It's only 70.52. However, this is more than where I sold it. I don't want to buy it here. I'd like to buy it anywhere under 70.40. That's where I sold nearly all of it. It's gone slightly higher, but I'm expecting volatility today. Now, of course, people will say, but isn't a defensive play the purpose of it? It protects you in volatility. Yes and no. It's not free money, and it doesn't just go up because the market goes down. It can work like that, but it can also go down. Remember I said to you, if the stock market crashes 40%, which I think we are going to get very close to, Coca-Cola will still go down like 15, 20% because it's already had a bad run. And it will go down less because money will move from high risk into this. However, it will still go down. And what we got today is unprecedented with Trump going after Jerome Powell directly in criminal proceedings. And it's got nothing to do with the refurbishment either. It's got everything to do with he won't reduce the rates. And Trump doesn't like it. He wants it done. He wants it done immediately. And Powell's not doing it. We have seen, though, stable employment and inflation relatively under control. So that the Fed, you can argue, they've done a good job. People will say, some will say yes, some will say no, but the facts are the facts. So at the end of the day, this can still go down. So I'm looking for a re-entry point. Anyway, J&J is up today. Defensive is up. Chevron Oil is up 0.36. Tesla is down 0.81. McDonald's is up 0.07. Google is down 0.72. Microsoft is down 0.68. Meta down 0.77. All these are very expensive stocks, particularly Microsoft. Nvidia down 0.81, trying to rise again. Walmart up 3.38. Staples, but it's also AI. Tilray gone back down again. No surprise there. Robinhood down 1.18. Rocket Lab is just too expensive. Plug Power down 1.37, just total manipulation. Bitcoin down 1.59. XRP is down 1.58. Ethereum is down 1.54, and so on and so forth. Right, okay. So I have got my limit orders and I've got my trades being set up. They're shared with my Electrum members. Everybody, all my members will see all my trades, all my live action, but the pre-setups are on my Discord Premium and they are on the Electrum. All right, so let me go through some comments and questions. If you want the link to Electrum, if you want to upgrade, there it is. You can always upgrade, downgrade, cancel whenever you want. It now provides 2 shows a week plus all of my trade setups. What I'm doing, I believe I've discovered a secret algo that is based upon not charts but sentiment across social media, comments, what's happening in social media. You can see the code is chasing it, following it, out front running you across those high frequency traders. You can see it. I've identified it many times. I've produced it. Anyway, let's there's my link. If you want Discord or if you prefer Discord because you want my trade setups and you want the conversation with me, there is Discord. Remember, do not accept a friend request from anyone. I will only accept them when you send them to me. All right, okay. Let me go to comments and questions now. Let's have a look. Good morning, family. Hello, world. Hello, fellow humans. Good morning, Potato. New Electrum member. You've got all the access now, haven't you, to all of the trade setups. Good morning, Dan Ackerman. Thank you, David, for all the posts. There's Henrik. Good morning, everyone. DeBoyko. Last week was fun. It was. Good morning, Booker. Good morning, Bookers. Good morning, Bookers. 43%. Yeah, it's been a great year. Absolutely. But now it's time to take stock. Gold and silver, good to see you. Oh, good to see you. That's what it is. I'm not down with the kids, right? I'm old. I don't know what these things mean. I just write good to see you. Or even better, I pick up the phone and say, hello, mate, how are you? Anyway, hi all, having a great day today. Good morning, Martyn and family. Kimberly, Martyn, is it now the right time to buy XRP or ADA? Well, I'm back in on XRP. However, I'm building a $100,000 position with all the profit I've made. We got a new Electrum member just come in. Thank you so much indeed. I'll share that on the screen in a second. I'm not buying any more until it hits my price target, which is on Electrum and in Discord. Martyn, is now the right time? That answers the question. Martyn, is your house okay? Yes, it was. Thank you very much for asking. Yeah, it was right over my house, but this is why I fixed my roof when I went home, and I also put a new fence up. Mike, the secret code is 0011. Yeah, it is literally in the code. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Thanks so much. You explained it. I'm telling you what it is. It stands for good to see you. Thank you, Casey. Casey Crypto, every Thursday, 10 a.m. Central Time. Loving it, loving it, loving it. What do you think of the Jerome Powell incident? I think it's terrible for the market. But anyway, let me show you my position today. Oop, there we go. Down very slightly, 0.06, but I'm beating the market. Zach Zeit again. Hello, sir. Good morning, Martyn. Can you schedule a time for Jeff Boots to discuss company progress? I am disgusted, Tim, by the progress. I think it's bloody awful. You get the emails along with and I do. I invested like you did. I received an email like you did a few days ago or 2 weeks ago. Just keeps kicking it down the can. I am very unimpressed. Really, really unhappy with the performance of it. Years and years go by. Mark Gold is surging. I think it's terrible. He's got nothing more to add, so I'm not going to bring him on the show until he has something to say. I'm not going to bring him on just to say, it's work in progress. We've had that many, many occasions. It's not enough. I'm not happy. So, CEOs let us down. I don't think this is going very well at all at the moment. Maybe it will turn around, but I'm not happy. I've got to be honest. Anyway, Tim, you said in Sensei's show, buying and selling isn't a strategy. Well, I beg to differ. I've made a very, very, very handsome profit last year with just the S&P and Coca-Cola. I made $24,000 in the last few days on my account on Coca-Cola. I'm back in. My margin is now paid off. I'm at all-time highs. I'm now entering XRP. I've got buy orders set for today's activity. I'm beating the S&P. I'm beating Berkshire Hathaway. To say it's not a good strategy, it's not your strategy, but it certainly works for me. Anyway, I can see the algos. I can see the trading patterns. I share it. I've not lost. 127 trades, 122 wins. The only 5 were the times I showed you what not to do. So I think it's working. Anyway, my mistake with 1-0. Nice one, Zach. Karen, good morning. Lost, not found. Hi, Coca-Cola man. Have a good one. Thank you. Casey Crypto, are you old enough to know Tatar for now? Now I know one. Do you really think VU will go down 40%? The S&P, the worst case scenario with the full unwind and the spooking of the market with the Fed, most certainly can go down 40%. Will it? I don't know. I can't say that for certain, but it can certainly do 40%. It's done much worse in the past with less conditions than this. So it most certainly can. Will it? I don't know. We'll find out, but I'm prepared for it. Anyway, sorry world, this evil we voted for is flexing our military might in a foolish way, says Wisdom. I guess you're talking about Trump, I guess. Now he wants to harass the Federal Reserve, checks and balances. Everyone has a view here. Everyone can share their thoughts. How do you think Coca-Cola will react this week? Well, I'm still analyzing. I've shared my my potential trade setups on my Discord Premium and in my for my Electrum members. I haven't yet made my limit order, my buy order for Coca-Cola yet. All right, I'm still out on that one. Ninja Cowboy, what do you think about SLB? I don't know. I've not looked at it. Morning, Martin. I'm invested in Nvidia, 30% up. You are worrying me about saying about a crash. I'm 43. Would you sell? Would I sell if I was in Nvidia? Well, it's a kind of pointless conversation, really, because I'm not. For that reason, I wouldn't buy Coca-Cola. Sorry, I wouldn't buy Nvidia as an individual stock. I would own it through the S&P. And I've sold the S&P, haven't I? So the answer is, no point, people, when you ask people their thoughts, they will tell you something, do what I say and not what I do. I would rather tell you what I've done, what I do with my real money, and I'm not in Nvidia individually. I wouldn't be in Nvidia individually, even though it's a great business. It's now very expensive, not too expensive, but very expensive, and it will be the first to drop when we start to see a correction, and I can't see how we can't have a major correction if not a crash. So I wouldn't be in it, and I'm not in it, and I wouldn't be in it through the S&P, and I'm not. I sold the S&P, so that probably is the best answer I can give you. Martin, give it a false information. The algorithm. Just became a member. Diamanda just became a member of the channel. Thank you so much indeed. Electrum member, you can now see all my trade setups. I'm not young, but I have no clue about Tatar for now. There is no algorithm. Oh, we love you, Martin. Thank you, Antoine Kane. Good day, sir. Happy to be young again. Happy to be with you again. Thanks for your time. Good luck, everyone. I have a few shares of Kraft Heinz. Good luck to you. Powell investigation might crash the market today or tomorrow. I think there'll be volatility. I don't think it'll crash the market, but I expect some major volatility. Yep, I do. Now I look back and find it hilarious. I'm catching your XRP entry. I've seen you be right many times, so I'm going to give this one a go. On me, my choice. It certainly is, but I will share my trades before I make them. So you're not going to get it afterwards, you're going to get it before. I am no longer posting my trades. I'm identifying the way algos are working. Yesterday, you saw me go live, and exactly the second I did, Crypto XRP dropped. Now, I'm not sitting here saying I control the price of XRP. Of course I don't. However, I am pairing up what I am doing, and I'm looking what other people are doing at the same time, and I'm seeing the power collectively make a difference. I am, and I'm seeing it. There's so much data I've collected over 4 years. This is how the new market is. It's not charts. It's not charts at all. What it is AI super centers on fiber optics, front running you using all this information. I can see it clearly. I've studied it for 4 years, and there it is. It also comes along with all the information I'm getting from people as well. So, this is what I'm seeing. Right. As I expected, there goes Coca-Cola. This is why I didn't announce my trade this morning. It's going back down. Even though it's my best pick to go to 8 for the maximum gain this year, outperforming the S&P, I don't want to chase it back up after I just sold it. So I will be announcing to my Electrum members, there we go, it's going down further. I will announce to my Electrum members and my Discord Premium members what my buy order is before I make it, all right? When I've decided. But I'm going to study the reaction of the market this morning and see what's going on. There is a difference between a day trader and a long-term investor. I respect your strategy and I'm happy for you. No, there isn't really, Tim. There isn't. A long-term investor is someone who believes in a company will be worth more in the long term. I do. I believe the S&P will be worth more in the long term. I believe Coca-Cola will be worth more in the long term. However, Warren Buffett's favorite stock is the S&P 500. VU, SPY, he trimmed it, he sold it. I do the same thing. What I don't do is just sit and hold and just buy dips. I move ahead of the market when I see things happening, and clearly that's worked and it consistently works. So there's nothing wrong with just buying and holding and just sitting there. However, as we've discussed on the show, I study it all day, I'm speaking to people all day, and I'm making very, very bold, very quick, fast but educated moves, and it works. So I am a long-term investor. I want to own Coca-Cola, but I'm not going to sit there and not take profit when I can see the market being manipulated and it being pumped and dumped, because we have seen last week Coca-Cola behaving like a meme stock. And I saw who was doing it, how it was being done. I saw the code. I saw the manipulation. I saw where it came from, and I acted on it. And I took $24,000 from it. So you can be you can give yourself a badge and a name and join a fan club all you want. But at the end of the day, I'm here to make money, and I'm here to provide the best information that I have for my Lucasades and my viewers, not just blindly hold on because that's what we were taught to do or whatever. It's not the way the world works. So that's my view. And end of the day, judge me on my results, and that's what it is. The Fed is corrupt anyway, says Antoine. Can you set S-Gov in Australia? You can buy treasury bills from the Australian government. That will be the equivalent. So you wouldn't need S-Gov unless you can access American stocks. Craft Time is a good deal to buy. Good evening. Is it? I don't know. I've not reviewed the stock and have to focus on my members, of course. Thank you, David, for all the links. Will you invest back into EVTL? No evidence that I would do that at the moment. No. Good morning, banana heads. Sorry for being a donut, but where do I see trade setup? Electrum member, thanks. Electrum. So if you go into the community, on YouTube, you will see it in the community. Go latest posts, and if you are Electrum member, you will see my trade setups also in my Discord premium channel. In there, of course, you can talk to me as well. Good morning, Ricardo. Martyn, your constant transparency has led me to a very nice profit from Coca-Cola. Matter of fact, your transparency from the last 2 years. I've watched you and it's completely transformed my trading. Thank you. David Hensley, you are welcome. Good morning, Martyn and Leah. Ricardo, good morning, and just upgraded their membership. Multi-Yeed has just become an Electrum member. So I will post my trades when I've decided it is the right time to do it, but you'll be getting the trade before I do it. It may be just before I do it, though, because things move very, very quickly. Very, very quickly indeed. It's not for everyone. Kazansky said, I echo those sentiments as well. I would not have gone through the tariff crash last April without the community. Thank you, Kazansky. Right then, so we're half an hour before the bell goes. We've got Wall Street on standby.
Rolling through, but
what is the market going to do? Well, you'd expect the market to react to this. I just don't know how the market's going to react, but I'm not going to chase Coca-Cola. I want to get back in. I have a buy order on XRP. All my Electrum members and Discord members know it. So there you go. Right. Coca-Cola falling. XRP down 1.5. I've got an order to buy another $10,000. That'll take me to $20,000. And all my Electrum and Discord members know what that is. Everybody else will see it trade live. Good morning, Martyn and Leah. Good morning to you. You're 100% right. Me too. I study and watch YouTube videos on the market and economy all day. Be careful, because most people on YouTube are YouTubers. I know you find that confusing. People go, Martyn, you're on YouTube too. You're a YouTuber. Is Paul McCartney a YouTuber? Is Elton John a YouTuber? Of course not. They're not trying to sell you videos. They sell concerts, tickets, performances, and they put it on YouTube TV. That's what I do, okay? I'm not a YouTuber. I don't chase clicks in the same way, all right? It's not what I do. So be careful watching YouTubers on YouTube selling nonsense. I'm giving you direct facts directly from those that actually impact it, and I'm here to help you, not sell something to influence you in any way whatsoever. Martyn is one of the most transparent traders in view. Thanks, Martyn. You are welcome, Antoine. You're missing out all my trades though, not being a member. Definitely a red day. That's you. I'm glad it works for you. We both make money. Remember, one approach is not always the best way. Let's have a great 2026. Totally agree. Totally agree. Not every way is the only way. There's no such thing as the only way. You're absolutely right there, Tim. You're absolutely right there. Anyway, we're all glad to choose. We're all glad that you chose us for the moment anyhow. Lost and yet found. Found in Australia, the equivalent, there you go, found. In Australia, the equivalent of a treasury bill is called a treasury note. These are short-term discount securities. That's what you want. Now, so what you want is a short-term treasury. Now, this is important, this. People hear me talk about treasury bills and they go, the 5-year, the 10-year. No, that's not what you want. If you're an investor and you just want to own treasury bills, fine, buy a 5-year, 10-year. That's a very different strategy. If you're buying the stock market or you're trying to park money while you're waiting for a position, then you go into short-term treasuries. One of those would be SGov, but you can buy them directly from the treasury if you've got access. I don't, and it's not worth the bother. So I just use SGov. That's short-term treasuries. Now, what that is, that's what Warren Buffett uses. When Warren Buffett says he has cash and everybody gets excited when Warren Buffett has cash, it's because he has short-term treasuries. Short-term treasuries is like SGov. Of course, he probably wouldn't buy SGov. He might, but he probably just buys directly with the reserve. Anyway, it's the same thing, just minus the minimal, very minimal management fee. But for most retail investors, that's the most efficient and the easiest tax efficient way of doing it. But anyway, so I buy SGov, I park my money and I earn 3.85%. Now, the purpose of that is it goes up every single day. 100% guaranteed. Look, there's my SGov. I'm currently out of it. I've got a few cents in it. Let's see it. It goes up every single day. And then what happens is once a month, it pays out the dividend. So you don't lose money. It goes back down again, starts again because you get paid the dividend. That's what happened. You see that? That's what it does. So any second now, it's going to pay back out and start again. Now, just for the visualization, it makes no difference because if I'm in at the top and it pays the dividend out, it's the same thing. But for the visualization, to make it simple for my viewers, I like to buy it. If I've just sold it out, which I just have, to buy Coca-Cola, as you know, I went all in on Coca-Cola, made 24 grand in about 3 days. I'm waiting to buy SGov when it just resets. And I'll put all my money, and you will see me make more money than having uninvested cash. Now, uninvested cash is giving me 3.5%. Now, at the moment, was it 3.25? I can't remember. 3.25, I think. Anyway, you can now get 3.75 for 2 months which is less than the SGov anyway, because Robinhood will be investing in short-term treasuries. It's how they do it. And they are making a bit of a profit and giving you a little bit. So that's what they're doing. All right. So you can go, if you bring some more money in, you can upgrade your 3.25, I think it is, to 3.75. However, that's not as good. That's not as good as using SGov. So I'm going to buy SGov and I can sell it whenever I want, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. And then whenever there's an opportunity to buy something, I will put my limit orders, what I'm buying before I do it, on my Discord Premium and my Electra members, and you'll see what I'm looking at. Now, if it happens quickly, I've already shared with you what I'm looking at. So in those two services, I've shared with you what I'm looking at. So, but I haven't, you know what the limit order is for XRP, but I don't know what it is for, well, you know what it is for Coca-Cola as well, but I haven't set it yet. All right. Anyway, because there's things I want to calculate. Now then, 1970 Buckley has just donated 5 memberships. So for those of you that have just won a membership, it was paid for by 1970 Buckley. Please do thank 1970 Buckley. That's absolutely amazing. Please do thank her. You've just received memberships. Now, what you could do, because you've already got a bronze membership for free, is for a couple of bucks, it's the best time ever to upgrade now to the Electrum. And if you upgrade to Electrum, you'll get all of my trades, all my positions, and the 2 shows a week where we do the analysis. We'll be doing analysis this morning. All right? That's the first come, first serve mini analysis, 3 or 4 from your favorite stocks. Not crypto, that's what Sunday does. I do stocks. All right? Bought at 67.70 is a keeper. See, I wouldn't say a keeper. You see, that's a very good average. Congratulations. However, I sold it all at 70, 44, 48. I made 24,000 and I'm going to buy it back lower. I'm pretty confident of that. And if it doesn't matter. I let it go. Well, you're just holding it, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with just holding it, but you're missing out on a potential gain. But if you're happy with that, that's fine. No problem at all. Nothing wrong with doing that. Do you mean Coca-Cola? K-O. Coca-Cola is KO, yes. No, a long-term investor is not just believing the business will grow. It's defined as investing money for a holding period of years. You're a swing trader, which is okay. Just wish you were honest about it. It's not, I'm not dishonest about it at all. I think too many people are reading comic book headlines and they want to put everything with a title. And all these things are just not relevant. For example, crypto channels like to say what Warren Buffett said, buy when there's blood on the streets. You've seen it happen, except blood on the streets is a whole book, a whole deep context of a book that Warren Buffett wrote. And he was never speaking about Bitcoin when he wrote it. So people like to make it simple, and oversimplifying something which is more complicated, you are missing the point. So to say you're not a long-term investor just because you sell and you don't hold for a long time is utter nonsense. It simplifies it, makes it easier for you to digest. I appreciate that, but it's not the case. And you can disagree with me all you want, but it isn't the case just because you say it. A lack of your knowledge and understanding doesn't thereby make it a fact. It just makes you wrong. So we all know what a swing trader is, and a day trader is, and a scalp trader is, and a long-term investor. However, you can be a long-term investor and trim and take profit. Is Warren Buffett a long-term investor? Does he trim? Does he take profits? All the time. So at the end of the day, just buying and holding and joining a fan club is great for you. Is it the best strategy? Mathematically, absolutely not. Is it your strategy and it works for you? Yeah. That is exactly the same as the kidology that people use when they say, I buy every week. I've got friends around me doing this. Multi-millionaires that are making this mistake every day. I meet my friends, Big Ed, you know all the guys, and they are making classic mistakes. Just like when they said, put your money in the bank, buy a house, it's the best thing to do. It's not. Mathematically, it's not the right thing to do, to put your money in the bank. However, if you can't manage your money, putting it in the bank is a great idea, because at least you're not wasting it. But you are losing money doing that. There's unquestionably, it's a fact. So some of my friends, they're very wealthy and they buy every single month and they give it to a custodian or a financial institution like Fisher, and very popular in America. And every few months, these guys, associates, will buy on their behalf, and they will charge them an exorbitant fee to do it. And essentially, they're buying the S&P 500, which they could buy themselves for free. However, they want someone telling them what to do. And it's what they do. And these companies cannot make the sort of moves that we can make. They are limited. They are restricted. They can't be seen to lose. This is why sometimes smart money is in fact dumb money. And this is a very, very important thing to explain to people. So few people actually fully grasp this. And this is really, really important. I'm going to try and explain this to you now. Let me just see a minute. I want to fix this. Some people think smart money is doing what the financial advisor tells you, and the first thing they do is go, I'm buying Amazon. I'm buying Google. That's what the smart money does. No, it's not. It's what the dumb money does. Right, that's a bit unfair. That's a bit unfair. Smart people have been buying Amazon for ages. How is it smart when everyone's doing it? It's not smart at all. It's what institutions will do because they can't be seen to be getting it wrong. This is I talk directly with these people. I've got friends with these people. Bank of America, Robinhood, Ripple, now Coca-Cola. And I know that they are not allowed to fail. They follow the leader, then you can't blame anybody. If Amazon goes down, we weren't wrong because it was the smart money. It's what everybody did. Because everybody did it, it wasn't smart then, was it? Nothing smart about identifying. Warren Buffett is one of the smartest investors I've ever known. And you know why? He's one of the very few investors that doesn't buy back his stock like everybody else does. Just about every other CEO, and I know I speak to many of them, they buy back their stock as a way to promote the stock. Now, was I right? Coca-Cola is going back down again. Was I right? XRP is going up. So anyway, nothing smart about following the leader. Warren Buffett does not buy back his own stock unless his stock is under value. Very simple strategy. Everybody wishes he'd have bought back his stock, but he doesn't. And that's why he makes money. He waits. And I'm going to wait now. And when I'm ready, I'll announce it in my Electrum and Discord premium services, what I'm doing, and I'll do it. And that's it. So smart money isn't following the rest of what everybody else does. So very often, if you put your money with an institution or a financial institution, advisor, whatever, they just buy a mixed up version of the S&P and try to look smart. They're not at all. And then you pay them a fee to do it. And then what happens then? Some rich person who does it month in, month out, 30 years up will go, look at me, I've made money. How smart was I? The smart money. No, you wasn't. You were always going to make money. It was guaranteed. Well, there you go. How smart am I? Well, I've doubled what you've made, which I will do. And they'll go, what do you mean? Well, what you did was just park your money. And what you did, you allowed the magic to happen. Because there's a sense of magic to it. It's not magic, of course. What actually happened was you bought businesses that were solid balance sheets that weren't going to fail, and the likelihood was very minimal. Then you parked your money. And then, because money got devalued, the stock price went up. It didn't even have to perform. It just had to exist. It's like today, young people get an award for walking across a stage. They get an award for showing up. When I was a kid, you only got an award if you passed the exam, not if you just showed up for 10 years. Everything now is about participation, showing up. So smart people go, I'm smart because I invested every week, every month, and now I'm up and I've made all this money. It was great that you worked hard, earned money, and put it in the stock market. That was great. Great. That's brilliant. Better than wasting it and spending it. Absolutely right. But you didn't win because you're smart. You won because you allowed money to be devalued over time. So prices went up, so your share price goes up. Simple as that. Is that investing? People will argue that's what long-term investing is. There's people in the chat now telling me, this guy here is saying, I wish you'd be honest. And that you are not a long-term investor. Because I don't just park my money blindly and sit and wait. It's utter nonsense. You go up by consequence. Everybody wants to simplify the stock market. Everybody wants to simplify everything. Why? Because most people are stupid. The intellectual level has come down. Every year it gets lower and lower. I remember talking to my dear friend George and Elaine. Elaine passed away, 84, and she was fascinated and bewildered and amazed by her grandchildren. She thought were geniuses, like 5-year-old kids were geniuses. She would say to me, Martyn, look at this. Look what my grandson Billy can do. Look at him on his iPad. He's creating videos and pictures and stuff. I went, Elaine, he's touching the screen. What he's doing is touching he's touching a screen on a preset wizard that was created by somebody smart who wrote code. I know, I can read code, I can write code. I did a full HND in electronics. I can fix your TV for you. And I mean fix it, not replace a panel. So I understand what I'm talking about. And she said, well, what do you mean? But he's doing it. I said, he's not doing anything. He's being programmed to do absolutely nothing. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. Yeah, but he's doing it. He isn't doing anything, Elaine. He's sitting there touching a screen. And now kids think they're amazing. They think they're amazing. A 5-year-old kid now walks around with his head up his arse, thinking how clever he is because he's just created the new version of Lord of the Rings using AI. He did absolutely nothing. The people that wrote the code were smart. He didn't do anything. And we live in a world now where everyone thinks they are smart and they can do everything. I can buy Microsoft while sat on the toilet. Do you know how privileged you are? Millions, billions around the world don't have access to that. And 10, 20 years ago, hardly any retailer did without a fee. And go back 50 years, you had to have bits of paper. Very rare. Very elite. So, everyone now gets more and more access and thinks they're really smart when the stock market goes up, when in fact all that happened was they remained in the game and money got devalued. And they tell people how smart they are and how much they know. Utter nonsense. So, what do I know? Well, what I do is I don't think I know anything. I surround myself by successful people who do. I talk to Bank of America, Robinhood, Ripple, now Coca-Cola, and many others, CEOs, see what they're doing. Then I study data. I study balance sheets. I study what you're saying. I study my algorithms. I study what people are trending on X, what they're saying, how they're pivoting. I'm studying human behavior. This requires 12 hours a day work. This is not easy. The hard stuff is what I do. That's why I always win. So, labeling people, telling people this is how it is, this is what it is, because you don't understand. The lack of your knowledge doesn't make me wrong and you right. It means you are ignorant of the facts. And that's it. And that then gives you this self-belief that you know something when you don't. How many people go out today and they buy a binky bonk fart coin, it makes them 1,000%, and suddenly they're Warren Buffett. They did that while sat on the toilet. Utter nonsense. The same as the people going to a casino, put $5 on red and win. Look at me. I'm lucky. No, you're not lucky. And what's really, here's another example of that. Mathematically, statistically, every time you roll the dice, it's 50-50, red or black. Every time. If you've rolled 8 reds in a row, it doesn't make red more likely on the ninth roll, spin, whatever you want to call it. It's 50% every time. But people will believe because they've done it 8 times out of 8, it's bound to be correct the 9th time. This is how stupid people are. We are lemmings. We are parrots. We go with what's easy. That's it. Now, this is where science is so amazing, because if science says 1,000 years ago, 2 + 2 is 4, and scientists keep analyzing 2 + 2 is 4, and then for some reason we find a new algorithm, we find a new mathematical equation, a new formula, and we actually realize 2 + 2 was 5. Because time and light and sound and equilibrium and whatever had changed the result. We adjust, we correct, we move on. We now know more. It's like people thought the world was flat. Stupid people still think it is. We have now evolved and we've learned it's not actually flat. And now we know what it is. So the stock market is the same. People rely on charts and go, I know all about it because I've subscribed to TradingView and I've got a million squiggly lines. TradingView is a business. It's there to sell you a product that you think you need because it makes them money. Robinhood provides services, buy orders, sell orders, limit orders, to provide you with a service you think you need. I don't know how many people have told me that I need a different platform because Robinhood is too basic. You need a fancy one with squiggly lines. No, I don't. The tools that are on Robinhood aren't there to make you rich. They're there to make Robinhood rich. This is directly from the source. This is directly from people that run the bloody thing. Write the code, build it. And I didn't even need to ask this. I know it anyway. It's the way the world works. But nobody wants to accept that because it makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you feel out of control. Well, guess what? You are out of control. You have no control whatsoever over the stock market. None whatsoever. So how do you win? You recognize that you have no control over the stock market and you play that against itself. That's how I win. But that requires study. So just buying and holding and calling yourself a long-term investor and look at me, aren't I smart? No, you're not smart. There's nothing smart about saying, I'm opening a brokerage and I'm buying Amazon. There's nothing smart about that. You're doing what everybody else does because everybody else did. Stupid is what stupid does. Simple as that. Anyway, the stock market is about to open. I'm going to get ready. Here we go.
I don't think that
big earnings coming this week. If you are a member, for $10 super chat, you can book earnings. And I'll cover your favorite earnings. So what's coming up this week? Tomorrow, we have the banks. JP Morgan, Delta Airlines. I think it's BlackRock. Coming up tomorrow. No, the Bank of New York, beg your pardon. Then we've got Bank of America.
I hope they do it.
$10 super chat, you can have any of these. Bank of America, Citi, Wells Fargo, Blair's BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. We start off with the banks. If you want me to get up in the morning or work late in the evening, these are all pre-market earnings tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. You have to be a member, but a $10 super chat will get your earnings, and I will cover your earnings. You get a promotion video, full analysis, and you get the earnings as well. Right, 5 minutes to go. So Coca-Cola is going back down again. XRP is going back down again. All Electrum members and Discord members know what my limit orders are. The rest of you, all other members, will just see me do it live. But if you want to know what my orders are ahead of time, that's how you find out. Right, okay. We're getting rather close now to my next order on XRP. For those of you on Electrum and Discord, you will know what that is. Very, very close. It's already preset and $10,000. And there's a specific reason why I'm buying at that level. Nothing to do with a chart. Zero. So in case anyone's going, well, why is he buying it there? It's not on any support line, a bloody binky bonk line, a fart coin. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got everything to do with human sentiment and algorithms playing everybody against each other. That's why I put a limit order where I put a limit order. Right, 5 minutes to go. I can't get Discord to work. Well, you have to verify your email, you have to verify your phone number, and if you've registered the email or phone number with a previous account, it won't let you do it. That's the reason for that. You might want to create a new email. Thanks for the information about XRP. We've got a big story in the newsletter as well. We'll cover that in a moment. All right. Brian Bynum. The world isn't flat. It's a forecast hyperboloid. You never know. We might discover that soon and then go, oh my God, I thought it was round. It really isn't round. Oh, well, okay. Fair enough. And do you know why? these people go on about flat earth because it gives them attention and they make money out of it. The guy who runs the organization makes money selling the story. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, and people get so angry and so like, oh, it's not round. I know it's not really, but you just love to engage with me, right? He probably convinced himself it is round now. It is flat now. If you do it long enough, eventually your truth becomes your truth, right? Anyway, doesn't make it so though, okay? Anyway, 3 minutes ago, let's see what happens on the market. I've got buy orders. I've only got one buy order in at the moment, and that is on XRP. All Discord and Premium and members know what that is. Nobody else knows what that is. It's all about the attention. Oh, what a silly world we live in. Now, I've got a big story from the newsletter today. I will cover it. But we're waiting for the market to open. Everyone knows the world is a deep bowl. It is. It's probably a piece of charcoal. Actually, isn't it a piece? I don't know why I said charcoal. It's more iron, isn't it? Anyway, whatever. Whatever. What do I know? What do I know? All right. I want to thank everybody as well while we wait for the market to open. This statistic here, this is unprecedented. See this here? Average watch time. YouTube average watch time is about 1.5 to 2 minutes. My videos are getting 10 and 11 minutes now. We have one of the highest average watch times in the world. Now you might say, oh, it's because the trolls will say, it's because you're live for 12 hours. Well, no, it's not. It'd be worse. Because if I'm live for 12 hours and you come in and go and you come in and go, right, then thousands of trolls and people coming in and just coming in and going would mean the average would be seconds. But the fact is that many trolls do that, and it still stays up 10, 11, 12 minutes for my videos is because people are watching. And even with the people that are coming in and out and going, which thousands do, as you can see, 1,800 people have visited and there's only 400 watching. It shows you that the ones that are watching everything. And our average viewership is 4.5 hours a day, which is the highest of any channel in the world. We are way ahead of Mr. Beast. Anyway, there we go. So let's get ready. Market opens in a minute.
Literally, I think people would say this is better than Amazon in some ways because I have to tell you, Gemini reaches a point very quickly where you might want to buy it. Walmart also, buy something from Walmart. Walmart also added to the NASDAQ 100, replaces AstraZeneca.
So let's get ready.
Money is indexed to the NASDAQ 100, but people are still buying it in part because of that. Stock was up 5 at one point, which is pretty ridiculous. But it just reminds you, David, that there is going to be
Jim Cramer's a great salesman, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. His job is to sell the charitable trust and the Pro, his book, viewership.
Yeah, well,
his calls, virtually all of them are wrong. Anyway, that's beside the point. Right, we're about to ring the bell.
Represents a challenge to Amazon.
Let's go.
And we talked about this a bit. That is pretty significant, does it not, Jim?
10.
Absolutely.
9,
it's funny,
8,
just with the
7,
that Walmart has,
6,
5, 4, 3,
2, 1.
Which has come on very strong. That's a very good.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day,
The bell has gone. Let's go for all our positions. Let's have a little look at what's occurring. Right. So I am down 0.05. I've beaten the market, I know, again. We're beating the market by a long way this morning. We're waiting for a big buy-in on Coca-Cola. We haven't set it yet, but we will do. Virgin Galactic down. Palantir is down 0.11. Gold is up again today, 1.85. Is the music a little bit too loud? Let me tweak it a bit more. There we go. XRP is rising. Amazon is down but now pushing up. Apple is flat, I'd say. One of my best calls of the year is Enphase Energy, a great balance sheet. Coca-Cola has just popped up again and got rejected. I want to buy this back, but I'm waiting for a specific number, and I will share that once I am confident. I want to see how the market reacts first of all to the Fed, what the news is around that. So Coca-Cola up and straight back down. I do not want to be chasing this, but it will go to $80. You can buy it and just hold it and be a long-term investor if you want, but I would rather get a much better deal. J&J is up 0.21. Chevron Oil down today. Tesla going down quickly. McDonald's going down. Alphabet, Google down 0.63. Microsoft down but going up. Meta is down 0.24. Nvidia pushing up nicely right now. Walmart up today 2.15. Tilray Brands no value whatsoever. Everyone got completely duped again. I warned everybody this would sell off. We covered the earnings call. What did it do? It sold off. You keep being fleeced. I don't know how to tell you by insiders. I've shared it with you, but no one seems to listen. They keep losing their money. Robinhood up 0.37. Rocket Lab down 0.22. Plug Power down 1.64. Bitcoin going down, trying to come back up again. I'm not buying Bitcoin. I am buying XRP. I've got limit orders placed. My Electrum members and premium Discord members know what those limit orders are. Ethereum is down. There's our play. I want to go back to Coca-Cola because that's now trimming back off again. That's what I want to buy next. My overall portfolio is virtually green. I'm down 0.04. The S&P is down 0.3, so I'm beating the market. I know, again. Anyway, everybody smash the like button. Let's go. Let's get 100 likes on the screen. There's 600 people watching. It's a huge audience this morning. We want 300 likes in 1 minute. Let's go. Let me share with you on the screen how many people have liked. We want I'll make it easy for you. 200 in 1 minute. 1 minute to go. 105. Let's go, 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 go. 30 seconds left. 30 seconds to go. We want 200 likes. Everyone tap the like button. Thank you very much indeed. I got buy orders placed in XRP. I'm about to add one to Coca-Cola. Let's have a look. Subscribers, 108,773, 108,785. The subscribers are rolling around. Thank you so much indeed. Please subscribe. 109,000 coming today. Have we got 200 likes yet? Let's have a look. 116. It's moving. I'll bring you the news from the newsletter and our new setup on our trades and live Q&A with a live phone in as well for all our members, plus a members-only event for everyone today coming up very shortly. 142, did we get there? 142, we're a bit slow this morning. 149, thank you, Millen Mask March, just subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much indeed. 149, are we going to get there? 154, come on everybody, a bit slow this morning. All right, I haven't got time to, 154, I haven't got time to hang around. Let's get straight to it. Right, so let's go back to a position I'm trying to buy. Coca-Cola. See this going to $80, if not 96. I've shared my thoughts to that in my Electrum and my Discord premium server. I am looking to buy back. I made $24,000 in about 3 days a few days ago. But I'm not going to buy back on a pump. I'm expecting volatility today, and even though it's a defensive play, it's not a defensive against Trump going after Jerome Powell. It doesn't. It's completely separate from that. Everything will go down, and we're trying to sell off now. I will set buy orders when I'm comfortable with it. I'm not yet. I need to identify a few things. There we go. We're going back down again. I've got about $600,000. No, I tell a lie. I haven't. I've got 461. No, I've got more than that. I've got $500,000, $500,000 in play to do this. So let me show you my position. I've got 461,000 in my main account. In my Roth IRA, I've got another 50. So we've got over $500,000. There you go. It's all out. Now we're seeing Coca-Cola retrace. There it is. This is what I'm looking for. So I want to see the reaction to Trump. What are people saying in Wall Street?
When the president calls in all the bankers, which I think he will do, and say, listen, we need 10% cap, I don't think you can attack the president head on. I think that's been a big mistake. You got to work with the administration, some of the people who are directly involved with credit cards, explain that it could hurt consumer spending, and find a way to be able to deal with this problem. Maybe without, they're not going to win in Congress. Maybe just a softer way. I mean, Carl, it seems to be you either get criminally indicted, not to be like civil, but criminally indicted.
There it goes. I was right again.
And one of the things we've learned from the president is just don't take them on. Find another way. It gets personal very quickly. And a lot of these executives, they're just not used to that, Carl.
Well, yeah, I was looking at the statement from the American Bankers Association today, Jim. We share the president's goal of helping Americans. That's how it starts out. So your advice to corporates is just to sort of roll over.
Exactly. Work with the other people in the administration who are a little bit closer to the ground. You can't really roll over here because it would be the end of consumer spend, because these guys just would rather not issue credit cards since they lose 3 to 5%. These are unsecured loans. They're trying to find another way. Because I know that it gets very personal very quickly. So it's better just to play along, just say, I'm going to learn, and then I'm going to do some teaching and see how things go, than it does to take them head on. I mean,
well,
David,
at what
when
point,
it
Jim,
gets
you know
personal
what? Yeah, I've been listening to you. I know sometimes we kid, of course, because I'm distracted by texting or things of that nature and may not listen to you as closely as you'd like. I've been listening to you this morning, though, and on the Fed and on corporations in terms of their response to the president, you seem to be saying, too bad, he's in charge, and that's the way it goes. Isn't that,
well, I think there's a
longer term, not necessarily a recipe for success in a capitalist country?
Well, I would say yes. I think that we all dance around it. No one wants to say it because it ends up that you're like the bad guy. But yeah, I think it's bad for capitalism. I'm
happy to say it. That's the trouble with TV. Nobody wants to say it because you don't want to be proven wrong. I'm very happy to be proven wrong because you learn when you're wrong.
Being torn asunder by the idea that it's very personal. Capitalism is not personal, Carl. It is not. Richard Fairbank runs Capital One. I know he will be excoriated. American Express doesn't even do the kind of lending. If they go after Steve Square, it'd be weird. Visa and MasterCard don't do any lending. They're just they're process companies. But everyone is liable to be embarrassed, or if they really don't play ball, be criminally indicted. And there's a real risk. You want to keep your head down. Do you want to roll over? That seems to be the best way to do it. You figure that he's not going to be president forever, and you roll over.
Although, I mean, we were watching, say, Affirm's a good example, which was up pre-market, relatively flat now. But where does it end, Jim? Do we get a tweet tomorrow about buy now, pay later? Do we get a tweet the next day about subprime auto or other forms of unsecured consumer debt? I mean, this affordability push, which, by the way, he called a hoax a few weeks ago, now appears to be quite real.
Well, look, actually, Affirm buy now, pay later. They lend excellent. They don't really have a problem with this. They don't do this stuff.
Yeah, no, they're seen as a beneficiary, we should point out, of this policy.
They are beneficiaries. The stock was up 4 points early.
Yeah,
the stock was up 4 points at 5:30. I do think, Carl, that I don't think it's wrong to say that it becomes a real issue as a board-level issue that perhaps we have to take a stand on the president. Look at the law firms that rolled over. I think they probably regret it, but they really, those guys just did, it was like they, all agreed that they should take the dive. They took a big dive. I don't know how they feel about taking a dive now. I think we'll look back and think that they were the guys who, when Senator McCarthy called, said, yeah, whatever you say, whatever you say.
Well, that's an interesting
Not
point.
When
do you take a stand and put yourself firmly in opposition to the administration, given
when you don't want to go to jail?
You have a fiduciary duty to your shareholders, though, and it's a very difficult road to walk. I mean, come on, you and I have those conversations off the record with many leaders of corporations, and it is a very, how do I become critical, or when do I really take a stand in opposition, given I have a responsibility to my shareholders? And that responsibility may entail towing the line, doing what I have to do in order to not run afoul of this administration so that I can continue to create shareholder value.
Well, what would have happened in Paul Weiss if they decided that, you know what?
We're going to fight.
We're going to fight. Do the people who are involved with corporate leave and take their customers with them? Of course they do. That's why you
that was the key question you're pointing out. Of course, one of the key, most very influential law firms that was first in the sights of the administration when they went after the law firms in a significant way, and really, with the executive order, basically would have very significantly restricted their ability to do business. A number of the other firms, the Washington-based firms, obviously did take them to court.
I'm surprised by the lack of movement today with the market. I think it's a delayed response.
To your point,
I'm not going to jump in and buy anything yet.
I think they regret it.
You do. You think they regret it? Well, it's hard to say. Their business continues to be strong, and by the way, we're looking at a stock market that is not really reacting in the sense of in the last few days, it was banning institutional ownership of homes.
Again, it's a delayed response, folks.
These are not necessarily bad policies. There's plenty of people who could argue, that has distorted the market in some way. Putting a cap on credit cards, potentially indicting the Fed chair. What am I missing, Carl?
Defense.
It's gonna flip all of a sudden. I'm not buying anything. The fact it's not reacting and it's quite positive.
The push for capex.
And now we're into pricing.
There's nothing positive about this.
And obviously also saying that Darren Woods is playing it too cute and indicating that Exxon may not have a role to play if there is a rebuilding of Venezuela as oil infrastructure.
Well, the only thing that is really negative would be if you got rid of, if you put a cap on and then the banks decide, we're going to pull back another one. That's the only thing that could hurt the economy. All these other things are a little peripheral. The others are personal. Does Fed Chief Powell, should he go to jail because there are overruns at a building when he's not really in charge of that? Well, I think we would think that seems
That's
excessive.
not what it's about.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about. And Jerome Powell said that. It's about he wouldn't reduce the rates.
We should remember, jail
So
ban.
they're alleging fraud. Now, they haven't brought the charges, to be fair. It's just
subpoenas.
Right, just subpoenas.
Grand juries tend to agree with the prosecution.
Sometimes, often. The broader question, too, Jim, is about what all this uncertainty does to, given this piece in the Journal about the job market over the weekend, arguing that 2025, in their words, brought a swift end to the best job market in a generation. We're getting some retail guidance. I'm looking at ANF today and AEO, down 8 to 18%.
It's interesting you mention that because ANF is the cohort that maybe can't find jobs. A lot of those people are in school. Hollister, very young stuff. I do think that there's a belief that jobs are getting harder and harder.
Coca-Cola is brewing for
the president wants
something.
The economy.
I can't work out what it is yet. I'm not buying it though.
People think, do I really?
XRP is going up. I've got a limit order to buy more. I'm already in.
Better than I am. I'm going to listen to Jensen Huang tonight. He has to talk with David Ricks at the healthcare conference. Now, he talks about how we could have a job explosion, obviously, because it's the fourth industrial revolution. But right now, the explosion doesn't seem to be happening, David. It seems to, NVIDIA's up today. I don't know. Again, I think tech's going to be up because today is not the day when the president picks on tech.
Right. No, and listen, again, we will entertain this question endlessly because it's such an important one in terms of the impact of AI on the overall job market and the willingness of employers to hire, whether it is going to mitigate their needs for new employees, not necessarily result in layoffs, but simply a lack of new hires.
They're not saying anything of any use right now. So I'm going to keep my eye on this. I'm not putting a limit order in yet. Not happy with this at all. XRP, I'm already in. I've got $10,000. I bought that yesterday. I'm down very slightly on it. I've got a buy order in to buy some more to double my position, but I'm not. It's not hit that yet. My premium Discord members and Electrum members know what that is. Let's go and cover our newsletter then this morning while I keep my eye on Coca-Cola. But I'm not just keeping my eye on a little green line or red line. I'm keeping my eye on what people are saying and how the market is reacting to just about everything. And I get data points sent to me from Google search. Anyway, so I'm going to go over to our newsletter. I'm going to keep on the sidelines at the moment. So if you just tuned in, please tap the like button and consider subscribing. And I wonder how I'm best going to do this. I want to keep my eye very firmly on that. Right. All right, let's go over to our newsletter. If you want our newsletter, by the way, it's a show notes for the show. There is the newsletter link right there. You can get a free trial of it. Let me pin that to the top, actually. Let me pin that to the top. There you go. Newsletter, free trial. You can try it out and you can get it for free. So you can follow along with the show notes. If you want X or Instagram, there's that. You want to become a member. If you want free shares from Robinhood USA, there it is. Free shares, Robinhood UK. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I turn down offers of sponsorship every day to bring you the most honest channel on YouTube TV. I gave you the membership and I gave you Discord as well. Right, okay. So let's get straight into it. You ready? Okay. Today's stories at a glance. Trump reviews Iran strikes. So, is Trump going to attack Iran? That's the next thing. Military options follow protest as oil price jump on supply risks. These are all the stories we're going to cover this morning. Banks face margin tests. Major banks report earnings amid rising AI costs and shrinking interest spreads. NATO secures Greenland. European forces plan Arctic sentry to counter US territorial threats and monitor activity. I just don't understand this one with Trump at all. It's part of NATO. You can put US troops on it and protect NATO and protect the world whenever you want. You don't have to own it and invade it. I don't understand why he wants to do that. If someone can explain that to me, feel free. I've been to Greenland. I've been to Denmark. And I know the people. I've worked there a lot. Copenhagen, I've been to the Little Mermaid, and I've been to the archipelago, and I've been to the Arctic Circle. I don't know why. It's very close to Russia. I understand that, but you can access it whenever you want. NATO have access there. I mean, it's everything. You've got. All of NATO can use it. I don't know why you got to own it and invade it. I don't understand that. If someone can explain that to me, I'd like to know. Exxon blocked in Venezuela. Trump sidelines the firm after its CEO labeled the country uninvestable. ExxonMobil. DeepSeek, yeah, I've heard this story already. We're going to sort of deep dive it in a second. But Exxon blocked in Venezuela. Trump's against ExxonMobil because they're saying it's uninvestable. There is a lot of uncertainty because you've got a lot of people now rising up and becoming very angry that their country is invaded. Some people argue it's not been invaded. It was a police action. That's somewhat things my friends say. It's an invasion. You put boots on the ground and it is what it is. But anyway, some people will say it's not an invasion. Well, that's a matter of opinion, right? But it is what it is, I guess. And Trump's against Exxon, which is a great business for America, but yet he's against them because they're not behind the whole takeover. So we'll look at that today. DeepSeek fund gains 57%. High flyer quant returns now finance AI research through aggressive long-term strategies. I'm going to go over to Coca-Cola because I want to, as I'm watching this, I want to keep my eye on that specific stock. So while I'm doing the news for you, I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So I'm gonna keep there. So I'm going to keep looking back at this, and then we got the Fed. The Fed is independence under fire. Now, you might think that's great that the president can decide what rate should be, make it political. That doesn't work. Other countries have tried that and they're bankrupt effectively. Look at Argentina. You can't go around just like China. You can't just go around saying, I want the rates to go down. Trump is not the Fed and it should be independent. But, you know, that's my opinion. You might disagree. I've got a super chat just come in, a special guest on the stage. Let's read this out. I watched a video recently about the great taking where your shares will not be your own. He said you will need the share certificates. Any thoughts? David Knight? No. That makes no sense. Years ago, there were such things as certificates, physical certificates, and you would trade bits of paper. Whereas now, when you buy a stock, it's held with custodians around the world. So if Bank of America go bust, all right, sorry, Robinhood go bust, if you buy it with Robinhood, you still own the shares. All right, they are in custodian around the world, and you'd need every institution, everything to break all at once. So you do own the shares. It's digital. I understand what you're saying, but to say you have to own the physical certificates, no, because we trade and we operate in milliseconds now. It'd be impossible. You'd be forever swapping bits of paper with people. So I understand what you're saying, but we have to trust the system. It's no more than saying, do you trust you've actually got any money in the bank? Because it's all been lent out digitally. There's no physical money sitting there. So I don't know. I don't really, where you've seen that. I watched a video recently about the great taking where your shares will not be your own. He said you will need the shares. I don't know who said that, but I wouldn't take that as some good advice. I think that's pretty bonkers, to be quite honest with you. There's no way you could work like that. And at the end of the day, you've got to trust the system. Because when all fails, your guns or your gold you've got stored under the bed aren't of any use to you whatsoever. And the reason why I say they're not is because you couldn't trade them other than with the neighbor, and the neighbor knows you've got them. So the neighbor with his guns is going to come around and steal your gold and all your stuff anyway. So when the system breaks, if it breaks, nothing works anyway. As you can see, in countries all around the world where there is violence and destruction, people just go in and bomb it and take it. So all your money is gone anyway. Nothing really matters anyway. So this whole world only works when it works. And if it breaks for everyone, and you can't prepare for it anyway, unless you're going to live in the jungle and live on worms and dig hole with your hands. And no one here, including me, has that skill to do it. Anyway, so let's break our stories down. One big thing, the Fed under fire. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to break these down a little bit because sometimes they get lost. Sometimes they get lost. So here we go. One big thing, the Fed under fire. Nearly got that wrong for a moment there. We're waiting to find an entry point into Coca-Cola once again. We're not there yet. But here we go. The Justice Department has targeted Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell with subpoenas regarding building project costs. Powell identifies this criminal probe as a calculated attempt to pressure the central bank into lowering interest rates. Last night, we heard Jerome Powell speak on this very point, and he was saying it has nothing to do with the building that he got into, with the overrun. It has everything to do with Donald Trump wants him to lower rates. Let me hear from Jerome Powell now. You decide. This is what he said last night.
Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president. This is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people. Thank you.
So you can make your decision there whether this is political or not, but it looks to me like it's to do with Trump wants rates to go down. I had a super chat just come in. I'll read that out on the show. When someone does a super chat, we always read it out. This was a support for the show. Thank you, Gavin Johnson. Thank you very much for your super chat. Don't forget, you can always leave a comment with that and it will read it out on the show. So let's go back to this story. It's our the one big thing, our big story today. A politicized Fed risks losing control over future price projections and destabilizing long-term bond markets. Consequently, the structural trust that supports the greenback's status as the world's primary anchor is facing an existential threat. What do you think, or test rather? What do you think of this? It's a very difficult day for the markets. So far, we've not seen a major reaction. Nothing major is happening. If we look at our defensive position, Coca-Cola, it's kind of bouncing up. The S&P was down, now coming up. If we look at Bitcoin, that's down. It's still down, but moving slightly up. So what do you make of all of this? We'll keep our eye on it. But so far, it's not the major reaction I thought we were going to get. However, I'm going with the stance. I think it's a delayed reaction and will come very shortly. All right, let's do a little bit more. I covered, oh, that's amazing. It was in the newsletter. I didn't need to go and find it. Anyway, let's move on. Winners and losers is in our newsletter today. You can go and check that out. I won't read all of that, but I want to come on to this Iran story. This is a big one. And again, the market hasn't really reacted much to it at the moment. I think it's a matter of time, though. I think it's too early in the day. I think the market is just assessing, as I am, looking at news, looking at the way the markets are reacting before it moves. But at the moment, there's not really anything I want to buy or any distinct move. At the moment, I see defensive just going up and down. I see the S&P not really sure where it's going. So I'm sitting and waiting at the moment. So I don't actually want to move on anything at the moment. All right, I've got a super chat just come in. Super chat. Oh, it was Brian Bynum. It was for Bank of America. Did I miss that then? Did I miss that? Thank you, Brian. Okay, so Gavin, who was it who requested this? A $10 super chat and you can have your earnings. So Gavin Johnson wants Bank of America. Very wise choice with XRP. Very, very wise choice. So yeah, okay, Gavin, we will do that, shall we? So let's put that down. Thank you, Brian. I didn't realize what was going on there. So bank earnings. So when is this? Let me just check this. Let me go over to here. Is it BAC? Yep. Look at this. Right. It is Wednesday. Wednesday before the bell. So we'll cover this for you. So thank you, Brian, for making sure I didn't miss that. That's really appreciated. Martyn, just saw your Sex on Fire performance on your channel from a few years back. You own the stage. Diesel Raider. You've been looking at my old videos, Sex on Fire. Was that the one when I was dancing on the bar? If you know what's happening, you should STF. I don't know what that means. Anyway. All right. Maybe the market is, yes, it is. And that is the time when it will crash. That's another indicator when it will crash, when people are buying blindly, have no regard for valuation. So let's do this. This is for Gavin. Thank you so much indeed. This is on Wednesday. If you are a member and you want to book an earnings call, it's $10 super chat, first come, first serve. So we're going to book this in. All right. So we're going to go to XRP and we're going to book this in. So let's make this now. I'm going to make a video for you and we'll do this promo and we'll cover the call. This is because you gave me a $10 super chat. You ready? Okay. What does XRP and Bank of America have in common? We all know, right? Bank of America use and test and even mentioned on their last earnings call, XRP, kind of, sort of. Well, they did. RLUSD was mentioned. But on Wednesday, which is on the 14th of December, we are going to cover the Bank of America earnings. Earnings season starts again now. If you are a member of our channel and you do a $10 super chat, we will cover the earnings for you. This is really important. I've re-entered the XRP space. I'm aiming to get $100,000 of XRP, but it's the banks and the institutions and the use thereof that I'm most focused on. Bank of America gave us some information on the last call. What will they say with this call? With things moving on, and they have moved on dramatically since we last talked about XRP and Bank of America on the last call. A lot has happened in the space. So join me on Wednesday, early morning, set your alarms, an XRP, a Bank of America special. We'll have a special newsletter. We will give you all the cheat sheets, what you might get with XRP if we get a mention. I am buying more. I've got limit orders placed on XRP, and my Discord members and my Electrum members know what those orders are. Everybody else will see me do it live once they execute. But there you go. Join me on Wednesday for this event you cannot afford to miss. Click above my head for all the links down below in the description. Over here and over here, I'll put the event. I'll put the Bank of America event and the XRP playlist down here. That's it from me. Until next time, if you already watched this, you're probably already at the event itself. I'll probably use this as a trailer. Till next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Okie dokie, there is my Bank of America promo. That's all set for you. Big day. I'll create the event shortly and you can all be part of it. Let me go to some comments and questions. I'll tell you what I'm going to do actually now. What we're going to do, because we are getting a little bit behind time. There's a lot to do. I'm now going to, every Monday, we do 2 Electrum events a week, and we do 2, we do more than that, about half a dozen actually, members only events. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go over to all members only, and do a live phone in with Q&A. Okay, and then we'll do a few minutes of that, maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then we will do Electrum for all Electrum members and upwards. And we'll do first come, first serve fundamental analysis, showing you who's buying, who's selling, the balance sheet, the profits, the margins, short interest, all of that stuff, the amount of debt the company has, the profits they have, a mini analysis, not full analysis, mini analysis. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove that, do that, and we're going to set up this to go to all members. This is all members, everybody, in the next 5 minutes. So let me go here. All channel members in 5 minutes. All right. So the event is now created. You will see a countdown at the top. You can become a member in the next 5 minutes if you want to. Electrum members, we're going to go far deeper and do analysis after we've done all members. All right. So now I'm going to get set for this. I've just got to do a couple of tweaks. So please bear with me. I've got to make a couple of tweaks. I've got to, first of all, turn this button on, this button here. And I've also got to put it in the playlist of upcoming members. So here we go. Playlist, live shows, members only, and upcoming members only. There you go. Right. That's now saved. I am already there. So now what I'm going to do is go to here. I know you can't see this, but I'm just preparing what I'm doing, getting ready. Upcoming event. There it is. I'm going to give everyone the link because some people say they sometimes miss it because it doesn't go as fast as they'd like it to. So here it is. I'm going to put the members next. All members next. Live Q&A and phone in as well, and then deep dive analysis, or mini analysis, I should say. Right, there we go. Let me pin that to the top. Replace the pin. All right, you've got it there. It's in the chat for you. I'll give it you 3 times. So in a couple of seconds, let me see who's going to be the first person there. There we go. We're going to carry on with this story. Let's see who jumps in there first. That'll be in 3 minutes from now. The countdown is on the clock. Now, if you are a member, it'll automatically take you there, or you might prefer the link. You can do that. You'll find it on the homepage of the channel as well under upcoming members only live streams. So there's lots of ways that you can jump in there, and we'll see what happens in 2.5 minutes. And then after about 15 minutes or longer, if you have a live Q&A or lots of people talk, lots of people want to phone in, then we can do it longer. But if not, we'll then go to Electrum members and upwards, which is gold, platinum, and sponsorship. And we will do the mini analysis, first come, first serve. All right. So I think we're good. Let me make sure I've got that set. Yes, that's all set. All right. While we're waiting, because we've only got 2 minutes left, I'll do a few questions, and then we'll do a lot more. There'll be the live phone in as well. So, RLUSD XRP, hooray! It'll be a big one. It always is. Buy Tesla puts if you want to make money. Maximum pain is 380, says Travis. January the 14th. Yep, you got it. We ate organic before it was cool. I ain't eating Bambi. No way, says Kazansky. Thank you, Martin. Crypto genealogy. What are you thanking me for? What have I done? I thank you for the thank you, but I don't know what I've done. BNY Melon, says Diesel. Can I be the smoky guy? You can be any person you want if you like. Can we go to Electrum directly? Have to be out in 50 minutes. Yes, we'll only be 10 minutes. It depends on if people call in, Liz. But I'm sure we'll be there in plenty of time. If you've got to leave early, I'll make sure I do your request first in the Electrum event. See ya. I'll also give you my price targets as well, because obviously it's an Electrum event, so I can share that with you in a live stream. Liz, we are so many Electrums, that's why I see this. I mostly use the MACD to enter trades. Yeah, I don't use those things at all. I don't use any of those things. They are completely, for me, I don't find them useful at all. Well, useful in the fact that I know what everyone's going to do, which is the very point why it's useless. But at the end of the day, I don't make trades upon those things at all. Never have done, never will do, unless the world changes again, which it might well do, of course. Anyway, we shall see where we are. Right. Anyway. Thanks, Brian. My bad. Should have added that. Yeah, that's why I didn't know, Brian. Sorry, Gavin. All right. Oh, here we go. It's going over to extra. I forgot. Bloody hell, I missed it.